World at War. Dire Bears Tuesday night, Scion 2nd Edition Chronicle. Who would like to give us a review of last session?
Shenanigans.
Okay, the band went fishing. Sort of.
Fishing.
The band. Well, Penelope went fishing. The band just happened to be in the boat while she was fishing.
Penelope
Were
went
we
swimming.
the bait?
Now, let's be real. Penelope went spearfishing.
Yeah, Penelope was the one
Penelope went spearfishing.
being the BAMF without,
Alright. So we started up with what Jayden had been doing the last couple of sessions, which involved a long conversation with Gaia, where Gaia was trying to convince her to convince her mother to side with Gaia. She didn't really want to be fighting the great-grandbabies. Or the great-great-grandbabies.
Mm-hmm.
Did she not, though? Did she?
She says she didn't. And if you can't trust, one of the oldest Titans around, who can you trust?
Well,
People that are significantly younger than Gaia.
Nobody.
About to say, the key word there is Titan.
Well, what is a Titan except a god?
Wakanda.
One that in the book actually spreads a corrupting influence on the world.
Gaia's nature, is she really corrupting?
Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen Humanity?
Yeah, I try not to.
I used to work retail. No, I don't want to.
It's like that meme. I see nothing. Eyes closed.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the band was out on Lake McConaughey, or Big Mac, in a boat, surrounded by sirens and fog.
We once again taught Shauna how to cuss.
Yep.
Yes, thank you for that.
She's going to be a foul-mouthed teenager fairly soon.
It's gonna be great.
Like a regular teenager.
Yeah.
But anyway, sirens, something big moving in the water under them. Sure enough, Penelope did show up. While you still don't know who her parentage, what her parentage is, she has mentioned being of the ocean, so apparently she is water-oriented.
And a Theo.
Yes.
We're guessing Poseidon.
It's probably Poseidon, unless she
Could be
just has
Poseidon, but
something-
there's also numerous river gods. There's minor sea gods. There's all kinds of stuff.
It could be Scylla Charybdis.
She was just down there hanging out with her parents when we interrupted her.
Yep.
Hang on, Mom. Let me go get rid of these people. Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Though she did silence these sirens that were trying to create a whirlpool to drown you all, so at least there's that.
Yeah.
You also found out Dixie had shown up at Robert's house, probably planning violence, considering she had a big axe.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up and chose violence.
I think that's just Dixie, period.
In your limited interactions with her, pretty much, yeah. I think you've seen her without the axe maybe once. But Kim showed up and talked her down.
Yeah, we still haven't seen that video.
Nope.
Telarius did.
Talarius did.
Yeah.
I think
So
Talarius
is
and
Robert.
Robert were the only two.
Yeah.
'Cause that was either right before or right after bonding time with the gods or
Yeah.
the step god.
Step guy. I was gonna say I know at least somebody other than Robert saw it.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
They laughed their ass off about it.
I mean, that is a fair response to it.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition, or not in addition, but as part of the conversation with Gaia, Jayden was given a very vaguely defined amount of time to try to convince her mother. a sort of, ceasefire. Though she was warned, don't try to stall and drag it out.
You think I'm stalling?
They say stalling.
Yes, and my child over here would like to discuss it with you. Return of the Chimera.
Honestly, if the Chimera returns at that point, Contra's like, all right, come here.
We were nice the first time.
I spared your life the first time as a courtesy. You don't get to live now.
But yes, Telarius had a conversation with Psyche.
Ow.
He is. I guess you'd have to say stepmother.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't be incorrect.
I don't. Though she was married to your father before he had you. I guess stepmother would still apply.
Yeah.
Deific relationships are complicated.
They're so adamant about them, even though they're so damn complicated.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the next day rolls around. Well, a few days pass with relative peace. And I forgot, Jayden did actually speak to her mother.
Yep.
Yes.
After a couple of days, Telarius goes from laughing about it to being like, wait a minute. Or laughing about the incident with the with
Dixie.
to being like, wait a minute, that's just Gaia keeping her fucking promise. God damn it!
You're so suspicious.
I'm right. Don't you gaslight me.
No, I just enjoy the fact that this entire time I kept y'all flipping back and forth on, is the other band bad guys, or half of them just assholes.
I mean, you've done that to us
They are
literally every
assholes.
game.
Yeah, this is like an every game thing, my dude.
They are
They're-
assholes, but also they're probably pawns, is what I am going with right now.
Oh, please, you're all pawns.
Well, yeah, but I mean pawns on the other side of the chessboard.
Yeah, are they the same color pawn as us?
Yeah.
Hilarious. Just over these few days is gonna. I think over the first day is just really sad about it, and then just gets a phone in the mail. It's like, okay, I can make content again, and then kind of goes back to some of the older stuff that they've been doing. Mukbangs and stuff like that.
Do you have?
Hear this frozen Pop-Tart crunch?
Do they put any footage up from the lake?
I'd say yes. Up at but it's not. It's not like they are showing. They don't have. There's not a lot of footage there. It's just a lot of like the boat creaking and moving around and shit, and then maybe like a shot of Connor in the fog, like Jack LaLaney the whole thing.
You probably have Penelope jumping up onto the boat and shedding all that water.
That too.
And you'd have the audio of the siren song.
I would put on a non-copyrighted song over that, and just put siren singing. Don't listen to it.
Well, it wasn't a mesmerizing song.
No, but just in case. They don't know. They don't know that, and B, just in case. And they'll put that out.
So in those few days that passed, there are other sightings of something in the lake. There are no attacks, no additional disappearances. But lots of other people are like spotting stuff, or big ripples off in the distance, or
It's just
to the point that the news media is reaching out to both bands.
I would just put
Inquiring if
caution
you know
tape
anything.
around the whole thing.
There's some disadvantages to being a marine biologist.
Oh, we do need to talk to those folks in the Rubicon too.
Also, when is
We don't know that though, because Jayden isn't here.
when is Violetta's funeral?
Yeah.
Because I know all of us would go to that. We would.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a couple of days. It'll be 2 days after the events on the lake.
Okay.
Probably just a day before we get into anything. Theoretically.
Sure.
And before that, Sasha would she would first try Talaris and be like, "Have you ever cut hair?" Because she still has the hack job she did, from the sacrifice to get one of her legend back.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I do my own hair.
Would you picture of horrible hair?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Are you looking for a style in particular, or
Something that doesn't make me look like I cut my hair off with a sharp knife.
is that what you did?
Yeah.
Okay. They'll spend most of the time giving them a nice fade.
Aggressive pixie cut.
It's an aggressive pixie cut. It's just nicely faded on the ends, and then they'll run their hair or their hand into your hair or what's left of it. There you go.
Thanks.
Could have sworn I'd written down Mr. Sandquist's name at some point.
And then, oh, did you see that? I guess you wouldn't have hit, huh?
You're going to have to be more specific. See what?
Yeah, and they have a copy on their phone because of course they do. They'll bring up the cam footage from
the Dixie. Yeah.
Robert's house. Yeah, I almost said Josh. I was like, that doesn't sound right.
That is the god behind it. Ooh.
Some big 6-foot redheaded Amazon outside of Josh's apartment door just.
He'd be tickled to death by that.
Oh, he would.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah, he absolutely would.
He would be, and then yeah.
And then
Would die.
Rappy would come out with a knife.
Yeah. Rappy'd be behind, around the corner of the door, just. She's just like, have you shown anyone else this? I mean, I'm guessing Robert knows about it since it looks like it's from his house, but
Yeah, it's from his footage. I just have a copy because of course I do.
Of course you do.
No. This happened a few days ago. It was it was hilarious at first, and then I started thinking about Gaia keeping her promise to Jayden.
I don't think Dixie would fall under Gaia's control, though.
I don't think that's the thing. I don't think any of them are directly being controlled. I think they're just being nudged in the right way.
She's always had a bit of an attitude with Robert, though.
And you direct that just right.
Before we even knew about the Gaia thing, though, she trashed his workshop.
It's all piecing together is all I'm saying.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you.
If Gaia is supposed to be this doing things by subtleties and coincidence, then this would be a nice coincidence that he just happens to show up right there. And they happen to get into an argument with an earshot right there.
could just be her being a bit of an ass, too. And I mean, as much as I dislike Kim, too, it looks like he talked her down.
He did.
I have a feeling him and Penelope are a bit of the, like, parents of that band.
Probably. The strict father figure and the wine
Creepy
off.
mother.
That too.
Like,
You're my band.
More-
You're this band's creepy mother.
thanks,
Mhm.
I think.
Good.
Just really strong Morticia Adams vibes.
Yeah. I'll, while I'm doing that, also send a copy to, or a copy of that video towards Connor's phone.
Well, he's going to get a laugh out of that.
Oh yeah. He's either gonna get a laugh out of it or he's gonna smash it, like crush his phone like fine powder.
Or he'll be here in like
Ring.
5 minutes. Or that.
as he's calling Telarius's phone.
Yes.
You know, I felt something was off, but really?
Really, what?
Do I need to suplex a bitch into the pavement?
I'm showing you something that happened over the last couple of days.
Oh yeah, I know, and I'm calling her the bitch. Do I need to suplex her into the pavement?
Oh! I thought you were talking about me.
No. We might have our disagreements, but you're still one of my greatest friends.
Oh.
Also just, aww.
No, that was in character.
No, just like also in character if it's on speaker.
Love
Just
you too,
group
dear.
aw.
But no, I think. Remember what I was talking about with the wild coincidences and stuff, and Gaia promising to pull back her people, and they're pulled back. This is the second one.
Should we bring it to the other band's attention that we know? Like maybe just Penelope and Kim, since they seem, like I said, kind of the adults in the group.
You want to talk to Kim?
You don't want me to talk to Kim, no.
No, I didn't think so.
It probably wouldn't end well for anybody involved.
That also brings up, do we ever let them know that we know that she sent assassins after Robert?
Oh, I plan on letting Penelope know that we're aware.
Well then, do we want to arrange a meeting with just Penelope?
Yeah.
How many daughters of Surtur do you know that walk around in Olympus?
Threatening murder and sending assassins out?
Personally, I wouldn't mind if Dixie were there. It's just we can see her face when it comes up. But that's just
Is
me.
if we invite Dixie, we'd have to invite the entire band, because then why would we just invite Dixie? That's weird. And then she could
Well-
just say no.
I figured we need to have a meeting anyway, given the nature of what it is we're dealing with. I mean, we are dealing with Scylla.
And
Well-
possibly a Charybdis.
Well, we're dealing with Gaia. Scylla and Charybdis are just like
The mini bosses before the big boss?
Well,
Right.
I mean, there is that, but like Scylla is, far as we can tell, physically in the lake.
Sure, but that's a symptom, not the cause.
Unfortunately.
So do we arrange a meeting?
Can I arrange a meeting? I can take care of that here in a sec.
Is this currently before or after the funeral?
This is before the funeral.
Okay.
This conversation.
Maybe after the funeral.
Yeah.
I need to work on coming up with a few words. So we'll talk more after that. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
by the way, fair warning, Shauna kind of grew
I don't like that.
a lot.
I really don't like that.
Be specific.
Um,
Larger than a bread
At
box,
this point, she'd
smaller
probably be
than the
mid-molt.
National Monument.
she's in the process of molting right now, but judging from the size, have you seen Game of Thrones?
Oh no. Oh.
Which
No,
one of us is
come
gonna have to
on.
die?
That's what I woke into. That's gonna be the size of your dragon. Really?
I mean,
You ever
it's
seen
accurate
Game of Thrones?
size-wise.
Hello,
Well,
Jayden.
Hi, sorry. My alarm never woke me up. So
That is unfortunate. So Game of Thrones sized, huh? So you can just burninate the countryside?
That'd be Trogdor-sized.
I am not going to be Trogdoring the countryside.
Are you sure? That sounds like a good thing to do since you want to ride it into battle.
Let's just... Probably no supernatural creatures at the funeral. We'll just cover that.
Yeah. I figured that was a given, but yeah.
Where are you keeping her?
Right now she's in the backyard. I don't have anywhere yet. I didn't think she'd get this big this fast.
That's what you get for feeding her dark elves.
They had it coming.
They're very high in protein. It just made her hit a growth spurt.
Faye, it does a body good.
Either way. That is what we're dealing with at the moment. Well, what I'm dealing with at the moment, I should say.
We'll figure out somewhere for her. When she gets done molting, I'm sure she's crabby.
Happy or maybe more hungry.
Both. She's hangry.
She's trying to eat my couch right now.
Oh dear.
That's really big.
I will be right back, phone.
That's too big.
So just to catch a wrap up, we really just done the review. Telarius has sent out the video of Dixie in front of Robert's house because they've gotten all paranoid about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like it's like our story guide is like sent off Chekhov's gun and is getting mad that I'm using it.
Well, see, y'all have flip flopped back and forth on the other band so many times that I'm amused by the number of flip flops.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter which time you're right or wrong. It's the fact that you're so undecided.
Mm.
Is there anything that Jayden would want to bring up? You've had basically a couple of days since the events. The band is getting ready to go to Violetta's funeral. In that couple of days, is there anything Jayden would want to bring up?
Think of currently. Sorry. Sleepy brain still.
Do you remember the conversation you had with your mother?
Yes. Okay. So everybody's together. Yes. She's gonna look at Telarius and be like, "So, guess what
You're gonna have to be more specific. I've been kind of a paranoid mess the last few weeks, really.
You have a brother here. Well, not here in Olympus, but here close enough.
What?
I found out who's Chad's father.
Stop right there. Don't say another word. Don't want to hear it.
I thought you would like to know.
I really wouldn't. This brick shit house with 20 kids and this.
Yeah. I really thought he would have been Zeus's kid, but no.
Who told you that?
I talked to my mom and I asked her.
Did she say specifically Amor?
Oh, Eros, which is the same for Amor.
That's the response.
In that awkward silence, you hear loud slurping, and Sam's over to one side just watching this conversation.
You knew?
I didn't know nothing. And that's not me joking or being evasive. No, your dad hadn't said anything about any other kids in this area. I mean, your dad don't tell me everything, so, you know.
Yeah, Jay would have asked would he have told him, but if he doesn't tell him everything, yeah. I mean, that might also be why Psyche has been the way she's been.
Specifically to me? What, she can't do it to Chad too?
Maybe not just specifically to you. Maybe it's also to that. Maybe having two of her husband's children here. Also, Mom, I already had talked to Mom.
Okay.
Like I said I was going to. Of course, you know. She's not switching, I'm not switching. I just told Gaia I'd talk. That's all. So, at least held up my end of the bargain.
Alright. You held up your end of the bargain.
Yeah, we talked. And that's all I said I was gonna do.
And as a result, and I'll show Jayden the same video of Dixie being carted off by Kim.
Wow, okay. Okay.
Loud argument, and then they leave.
So now we know why she hates him. Or, you know.
Giants and dwarves hate each other. I guess that's tale as old as time. Works in D&D too.
Tale as old as time. Sorry.
You can't sing any more than that.
That's why I didn't.
Now just picturing Dixie and Robert dancing.
Oh my god.
Beauty and the
Somebody
Beast, but gender swapped.
Yep.
All right, new plot thread I got to work in these last few episodes. All right.
Well, I mean, it fits. Beast is taller than Belle, and Dixie, with him being a dwarf. She is the daughter of a Titan.
The fanfic writes itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's a fanfic somewhere on that Discord that we got linked
for
to.
Sure.
I'm sure it's like 13, 15 chapters long.
Enemy, it's like tagged enemies to lovers.
Yep, size difference.
Oh no.
Okay, so anyway, let's get to the funeral.
Made myself laugh.
It's hilarious. We'll say a few words at the funeral. Just generally,
Just gonna barge up there and take over.
I would have Oh, I would have tried to do it in the first place. Like, I would have made arrangements to do that. I'm not gonna just run up and do that.
Yeah. And when you get there, this kind of usher type guy. Because there's quite a few people here. She was big deal in the city. But the band is taken in. You're introduced to Warren Sandquist, her husband.
Nice to meet you.
He shakes hands. Yeah, my wife spoke very highly of you all. I'm glad you could be here. I appreciate that you're going to speak.
I would dream of this is the greatest honor for me to be able to speak on Violetta's behalf.
He introduces you to his daughter Gloria.
Gloria?
She's sitting there with her like 2-year-old, holding her 2-year-old.
Sure.
And she's also pleased to meet you. She's also tells you that her mother had spoke well of you.
Hilarious gets down, and you said that she has a 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious gets down and undoes the back of their shirt and lets the little wing flap out and just flutter in front of the 2-year-old.
You're a Cupid.
More
than a Cupid?
Oh, we still haven't done that. Never
mind. Glad to be here, and they'll excuse themselves. Rejoin the band until it's time.
And y'all are seated, not as far front the family, of course, but midway up or something. Talerius, you're set somewhere else, kind of off to the side where some of the other speakers are. It's pretty well a Catholic service.
So I'm very familiar with it.
You, the player, yes.
Me, the player, yes. Well, Talerius was raised by a Hispanic mom. So they were raised by a Hispanic mom. I'm pretty sure they have Catholic guilt for no reason.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, but Hispanic mom that was banging pagan gods. So how Catholic was she?
Even more Catholic guilt.
That's even more Catholic, believe it or not.
So you start off with priests, speaking well of her, speaking of all the charitable stuff she had done, how her and her family had always given generously to the church, and then you've got some of the people she's worked with for a long time, and eventually it rolls around to Talerius.
Quick question, looking around, is the other band in attendance at all?
You do see... I don't know, there's a lot of people here. Would you see them?
She would probably use some kind, the sense she uses to get for magic stuff to kind of, more narrow it down.
Narrow it down towards, people who are, deific.
Yeah. Or they might have, a relic on them or something. Because, most of us are walking around with relics, even if it's not, a sword or something.
Yes, with that going, you spot Penelope towards the back.
Just, if Penelope catches her eye, she'll just kind of do a quick nod, sup.
She gives you kind of an acknowledgement. You don't see anybody else from the Varangian band there.
Okay.
Will I see Penelope from the podium?
There's a big crowd of folks. Sasha was able to spot her by looking for magic, basically.
Sure. Just making sure, casting. They would also be casting a wide net as they're looking. But they're not. If they don't see anybody immediately, they're not going to think of anything of it. But they'll begin. They'll be like, when my band and I, they'll gesture towards Sasha and Connor and Jayden. when my band first got organized, one of the first people to come and really be on our side and have our back was Violetta. She never let the the bad press that maybe we got from other people like stop her in her beliefs in us. And it was always it's always interesting to watch her work. It was always interesting to watch her work. She was always it was like it was almost like magic, really. Like, here I am, whatever I may be, but she was the real magic.
I'm just picturing the priest over to one side, kind of frowning up when you say that.
Priest is over there making the sign of the cross.
I'm honored to have known Violetta for as long as I have, and I can't speak for my band, but I am certain that all of us have at least one positive experience with her. I have many, having spoken to her a lot, but I I'm sure all of us have at least that one story of, oh yeah, Violetta did this for me this one time. But it's not even about all the things that she has done for us. It's just she's just a ray of sunshine in a, quite frankly, sometimes bleak profession. And that's that's gone now, and that's unfortunate.
There's, of course, people crying out in the audience. During the latter part of your speech, one woman gets upset enough that you actually see her get up and walk out. I can't remember if Telarius, who all that initial blackmail information that y'all had gotten from her, or that you had gotten from the Alpha Dogs, where they were blackmailing her. Who all had looked at that?
Just me.
Just you? Okay.
Yeah.
Was that?
Then if Connor glances over, you may actually recognize this woman.
It was her lover.
Connor's pretty sure it was the other lady in those photos, yeah. Or that video. I forget if it was a photo, if it was photos or video.
Locked up for going to her funeral.
Yes, it was.
It's hilarious because they were raised a good Catholic person. We'll say, just and I'm sure wherever she ends up, she is in a much better place now. Kind of side eyeing the priest.
Just picturing Telarius's wings itching the entire time he's in this building.
Mm-hmm. They're just folded in. Thank you, and they'll cancel put you.
And the priest gets up and kind of finishes out the service. There's a prayer, there's prayers, whatever. Afterwards, what now?
How freaking saturated is this place with ghosts?
There are several old lingering spirits. Maybe not full ghosts, like the place is haunted.
Yeah.
But you can feel kind of the remnants of it. Probably not to the degree you would like in an old European church.
Yeah.
Because, this church can't be older than 30 or 40 years old. Mm-hmm. But this is far from the only funeral that's been held here.
Violetta's ghost does not appear, correct?
No.
Okay.
So the service wraps up. Mr. Sandquist comes by again and thanks you, especially Telarius, for the words they spoke.
course.
Several other people come by and speak to you. Asking how well you knew her, just talking to you about her.
Just one of my first non-band friends that I made in Olympus, and stuff like that.
A little bit later, you do see that lady that got up and left. Talking to the husband. She seems to know the family fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
Though she was not like sitting up with him or anything.
Sure. Still fucked up to go to that person's wedding.
Not wedding, it's a funeral.
Or funeral, sorry, yeah. I went to a wedding last weekend. I'm still back there somewhere in the woods.
Well, I don't know. It just means they were obviously important to each other, so she went to her funeral. I failed to see how it screwed up.
It's not too weird. If she had shown up and made a scene, maybe it'd be weird, but
Kind of did.
Well, not intentionally. She was not the only person in the crowd crying.
Sure.
she didn't like charge the stage or anything and like throw herself on the casket.
No.
That would have been weird.
That would have been weird.
Yep.
My grandmother did that at my stepfather.
Because she was really that upset, or is it kind of a
My-
was mourning, were mourners kind of a thing?
No, so my stepfather was my grandmother's favorite child
Okay.
out of 9 of them. 12? I can't remember at this point.
I know some churches, when you have funerals, they'll have actual mourners who kind of, it's, I hesitate to say performance because it's, part of their beliefs or whatever, but
No, my
they'll do kind of
grandmother,
the exaggerated lamentation sort of thing.
as my uncle's, she threw herself. Yeah, I remember. I was sick.
That's an age that's going to stick with you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Childhood trauma.
It's great, ain't it?
It's like, is grandma trying to go with dad? Like,
Oh no.
There's of course some press covering the funeral, though no cameras were allowed inside or anything.
Naturally.
Members of there was a bench or two where members of the press were specifically sat. Now, as you're leaving, there's a few people in the press want to speak with you. They seem to generally leave the family alone. They're not quite going full Vulture.
I'm more than happy to absorb the aggro from all of the press away from the family.
Aggro.
I got tank stance going. I got this.
I was gonna say you're tanking the reporters.
Yep.
I can see it.
This is the one time where Tillarius is the tank.
He just runs out, dives in front of the reporters. Look, I'm
Social
a godling!
tank.
And starts flapping his little wings at them to get their attention.
I can see it.
But they ask you a lot of the same stuff. People inside were asking you, how long had you known her and how well had you known her, They knew you'd been interviewed on her station a few times, so.
More than a few times, yeah.
It's been like 3, man.
It was gonna be a 4th, and then they went and killed her.
Mm-hmm.
She was my favorite normal lady. You barely knew her. Paraphrasing.
Favorite normal lady. After his mother, or after their mother.
You will get a text or a call within the hour of your mother seeing you on TV.
Yes, mother.
Oh, you should let her know. She should have gone with you to the funeral.
Mom, that's a little weird.
Well, she was your friend. You just need support.
Okay. Well,
I will. You got that band, but you still need your mother.
yes, I do need my mother. However, I don't. Maybe not a funeral. Maybe we set up a nice little party. I'll invite you to those. You like parties? I know
Oh
you
yeah,
have like
I met your father at a party.
yeah. I'm sure you have like 6 or 7 outfits that you want to put out at one of those parties.
Next time we go to the Rubicon, we have to invite Hilarious' mom.
We absolutely do, yeah.
Yes, we do.
Y'all haven't been to the Rubicon in a while. Not since the incident.
Well, we need to go anyway.
Well, pretty soon, my band and I are going to be at the Rubicon if you want to join us.
Oh
Or
yeah, yeah. You've
be
been to that
there
place before.
for bingo.
Where's that at?
I'll give her the location.
Mhm.
It's a nice place. It's they have nachos that are like the size of the table,
It's like, oh yeah,
or at least it
I
is.
think I was there. It wasn't the Rubicon then. I think I was there back when. Oh, what was it? And she names off some other bar name that it probably was, 5 or 6 years ago.
Gosh, she's gonna go in and what's his name? Alexander.
Oh no.
Anthony.
Antony is gonna know her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it goes in. Chad starts
no.
hitting on her.
Now we have to go. Oh. Yeah, we still haven't done. Or did that happen while I was AFK?
What's that?
Did Jayden tell anyone about?
Oh yes.
Yes. She told
And
me
Hilarious
about
was like, "Stop! I don't want to hear about it."
and then she kept saying it anyway, so they were just like, "Ah!"
What have
Psychic
you done?
damage.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Samuel
psychic
has told him that he's not aware of any other children in the area. But yeah, it's not like he
Doesn't have a black book of kids.
Mm-mm. The Black Book of Chillins.
Oh God.
But you open it up and it's really just bank statements where he's been making all these different
Oh no.
child
Hate
support.
it.
Hate it.
Mm-mm-mm.
I wonder how Chad affords all his kids.
Fortune
Drugs.
Purview.
You
Or
know?
fortune purview.
That could be it.
He really plays the bitcoins.
Well, there's one where you literally just have $10,000 that has to be spent, or that's a boon. You just magically conjure up $10,000 and it must be spent.
Can I get that boon in real life, please?
But wait,
Thanks.
doesn't that disappear after a certain amount of hours or no?
After like a day, I think. I was flipping through it a while last night because I was looking for something. What's that?
Alright, so anyway, what do y'all want to spend the day doing after the funeral?
And no, I just meet up with the band and be like, all right, well, if y'all are ready, we can go do something else.
Did we want to do something else today? That's kind of a heavy thing to put in the middle of a day.
It is.
Well, I eventually need to go meet with an oracle that my pantheon talks to on occasion.
I mean, we're all dressed nice. That'd be probably the best way to meet an oracle if we have to.
Yeah. So if y'all want to come along, the Kadama did tell me where she was kind of at, but we'd have to do a bit of research. Clarice, think you could find someone named Min Lee?
Min Lee?
Yeah. Minlee.
Minlee. They'll start. Yeah, I'll start looking into that. They'll like reverse white pages or whatever.
Yeah, you don't have any real trouble finding her. She's a local businesswoman. Her and her husband own several small businesses in the city. Things like restaurants, car washes, laundromats, kind of little neighborhood-based stuff. But they own several scattered out.
She has a lot of businesses.
You do find an actual, like her office.
Sure.
Because all those businesses are kind of under one umbrella. LLC.
Okay. Not really as much to Connor. This is a lot of businesses. Are you sure this is a? You sure this is an oracle?
It was the name I was given. From what he said, it's she doesn't sort of get the ability to do the thing on command, like what's been messing with us. But the Shin do give her visions from time to time, so it could help.
Perhaps we should call her first, then, instead of just
Well, yeah.
showing up on her doorstep.
No, that's good.
Hence me asking Claire's search, because I don't know her number. I just know her name.
Oh, now I know her number.
Ah, well.
And I think you were told what part of town she lived in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just doesn't know where.
Yeah.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, what is her number?
Rattle off the number.
Okay. And it's the number to the office, not her personal number.
Yeah.
Right. Connor will type in the number and.
It rings a couple of times. And a young-sounding woman answers the phone. Hello, Lee LLC.
Hello. I'm calling to speak with Min Lee, or does she prefer Lee Min?
Generally, she goes with Min Lee.
Okay.
But I'm afraid she's not in town right now. She left rather suddenly a couple of days ago.
Okay.
May I ask who's calling?
This is Connor Hughes.
The Connor Hughes?
Yes.
So you're probably not really calling her on about business?
Not entirely, no.
Is there some... Are you calling her about something that might have made her leave the city? Because she left real suddenly, and it was kind of...
Well...
She seemed worried. It seemed weird.
It might be the reason, but I was hoping she was still here.
She had me like... I mean, I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but she had me get all of the... all of her property here in town... double check all the insurance and even raise the amount of it's insured for in some cases.
Fuck. That's not going to end well. That actually tells me a lot. Some of what I needed to ask her, just from you telling me that. Is anything else she might have said?
Just that when I finished up, she didn't know how long she was going to be gone, so when I finished up, she gave me some vacation time to go visit some family. But...
I would advise that.
Okay. Is this about the thing in the lake I've been reading about?
Yeah. More than likely.
Oh yeah, I'm out here day after tomorrow then.
Best of luck.
You too. I'm sorry I couldn't help you anymore.
Nah, you help me more than you know, just from telling me what you have.
Oh, well, it was very nice speaking with you.
Well, you too.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That sounded less
Don't like that
than.
sound.
Yeah, that's not good.
So she suddenly got very worried, had her sort of secretary up the insurance for every single one of her properties and left town. And then advised her secretary to take some vacation time.
Well, she was nice about that. Did you give your personal number by chance?
No, but you know what that does tell me?
Shit's going down soon.
And it's likely going to cause devastation in the city.
Yep.
Well, let's prove her vision's wrong then.
Here's to hoping we can.
Not how
Strike
that works
first.
usually.
It's not fate. It's not bound by fate that it will happen. It's a possibility.
True. Still don't like it, but
Mm-hmm.
Do we strike first?
Where?
The big lake.
I mean we're literally dealing with Scylla.
Lure it towards. Is there an end of town like not heavily populated? Like it's just more forested area away from buildings along the lake that we could lure?
Oh, there's plenty of lightly populated areas if you go up and down the lake.
Like no populated area, like maybe like a nature preserve or
Across the way, the lake
like
that connects.
here?
Yeah. Then in the forest, Jayden goes working.
Yeah, that would be probably the biggest unoccupied area.
But
as far as habitation, there's always plenty of people running around in there. But
there is a chance we will probably, more than likely, might run into Gaia. Or at least I might. If you guys suddenly fall asleep, I'm sorry in advance. Just don't run into an open field of flowers, please.
I don't.
Yeah,
There's
you don't mess with
a
the
number
Fae.
of yeah, exactly.
It's rule number 1.
Yeah, never go into a field of flowers. What the hell?
You know,
Does people not read fairy tales?
I taught my students that and they still did it. I just want to put it out there.
Your students have the intellectual ability of a first grader.
I just want to cover my bases.
Makes sense.
Do we want to try and set this in motion? Not today, I mean, but soon. Maybe discuss with Penelope and the other band.
If we are going after her, we'll more than likely need the other band too. Is there anybody else we can call maybe that somebody might have told us about sometime?
what do you mean?
Can we fly in the guys from Belgium and England?
Yeah, Connor's like, he's trying to think up, who else might we be able to call to get some help, maybe.
Mom said that the people at the Rubicon would be of help, or would be. She would. I can't in my head remember what you said, Artemis said, but basically repeat what she said to them.
Okay.
Go see if the folks at the Rubicon want to join a hunt.
They were going to be important in some way. I forget exactly how I worded it.
Didn't they say that the sister is fate bound to fight some great enemy?
Yes. And she was part of the band of Texas that fought the creature that, devastated this area that led to Olympus being built.
What if it's part of her fate to die fighting Scylla?
Well, then that is up to them, though, if they so choose to wake her up to have her do that.
Do we want to arrange a meeting? The band, Anthony, anyone that may be involved in this.
I'd say we'd meet with, let's meet with folks, get them, see if we can't get them all on the same page. What we're dealing with.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so you start making phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's calling who first?
Looks over. Do you want to call at Talarius? Do you want to call the Rubicon and talk to them, and I'll try and talk to Penelope?
Yeah, do we want just asking for some space, or
Maybe if they would be also available to attend, given the nature of what we could be facing,
okay?
and that it may require. Just looks around. We're like alone right now.
Yeah, I'm assuming y'all are back at Talarius' place by this point.
Okay.
Sure.
It would also involve the sister in the basement, potentially. We wouldn't want to, talk about that out in the open. Anthony would probably murder us.
Mm-hmm.
Better to let him know that it may be addressed beforehand, just so he could discuss with, and I'm forgetting the waitress's name, shame on me.
Carrie? Something like that? Kary.
The tall red-headed waitress.
Yeah, Carrie, I think her name is.
Was it Carrie?
Yeah, Carrie.
Or was it Kathy?
Redhead with Carrie is the
It's not
waitress.
Kathy.
Redhead and freckles. Carrie is the name of the waitress.
I flipped back too far. I'm looking at vampire names. Hang on.
Good job.
Kary.
Nothing wrong with that. You're just getting prepped for the next time we play vampires.
Let's see. There's Gwendolyn's name. Violetta's name.
This was like session 3.
Well, I know Bridget was somebody's name, but that may have been the lady under the bar.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a lady.
It's the lady under the bar.
Okay.
The waitress we deal with, her name is Carrie.
Okay. I always tell myself I'm going to do more organized notes every campaign, and every campaign I do not.
That's a mood, though. That's a mood.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I need to just sit here holding a clipboard so I can write as soon as something occurs. Okay, so Talarius is going to call the Rubicon.
Yep.
Okay, and somebody was going to call the Varangian band.
Sasha will volunteer to call Penelope.
Okay.
Well, wait until after we make sure we can possibly get like a spot in the Rubicon.
Okay. All right, Talarius, you call up the Rubicon. Anthony answers. It's a little early for them to be open, but they're clearly already there setting up.
Yeah. Hey, Anthony.
Rubicon.
Yep. This is Talarius.
Hello.
I was wondering if we could have you and your waitress on hand for a meeting.
What about?
There's a lot that's going to be happening in town very soon, and we just need all of the people here that want to continue to be here on board about it.
This has got to do with the thing in the lake.
Has to do with the thing on the lake. It also has to do with the thing that's controlling the thing on the lake.
All right. How much? Who all are you calling in? How much space do you need?
Well, it's going to be my band and the Varangian band.
Ask him if he can call in anyone else that he might know that might want to help, that he trusts.
She says in character.
Yeah.
Like leaning over.
Uh-huh. I'm also speaking that in character. Do you know? Do you have anybody else you might have on hand that may be able to they owe you a favor or something that you can cash in?
They want to get in on this ass whipping.
They want to get in on an ass whipping. Not every day you fight a Titan, or whatever else there may be.
Most of the folks I know in the area, if I drop the T word, they're heading for the hills.
Fair enough.
And I don't really blame them.
Yeah, no, neither do I. But well, forces of nature happen all the time, and mortals are always like stubborn enough to stay there. Surely that's the same thing for deific people.
Look at Florida. Florida's still there.
All right, I may know a
Florida,
couple. I may know a couple
Louisiana.
of crazy enough guys to show up. I don't know how much help they'd be against something that scale, but
Florida man is his own deity.
Florida.
Oh
if
my
you were
god.
going to do like a
The
modern day
American
American
Yes.
pantheon, he would probably be something at least something on the level of like white eyebrows.
Yeah.
Or like Wukong.
You don't know if he's a titan or a god or just something.
Mm-hmm.
Just Florida man. You don't question
But
Florida
he
man.
seems to be unkillable. He can't win at anything, but he never quite dies.
This comes back later.
I thought you were dead. I got better.
Can't kill me. I'm Florida man.
It's the gingerbread man with extra steps.
All right.
We're gonna do this. We just had today was rough, so we're gonna try this, and I look at the band tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Give everyone enough time to make phone calls and circle wagons and such.
Okay.
All right. What time tomorrow?
Is this on speaker?
Mm-mm. What time tomorrow?
Lunch?
And what time is best for them? Because he would be in the meeting as well. So
Well, you would be hosting it, so what time would work for you guys? We'll work around that.
If everybody else can make it, let's just do it at noon. That'll be before we open.
Can do that.
most definitely.
And I'll hold up like this for everyone else. All right. Well, thanks a bunch. Good luck calling in your favors.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Goodbye. We're good. Noon tomorrow.
All right.
Thought just hit me. Do we want to bring the Cyclops back from Osgood? Or maybe just how would we contact the Cyclops? We just did we give them a telephone or anything?
Trail of sheep for them to eat.
I still have contacts up there.
Yeah, you've got the numbers of some people that still live in Osgood.
Do we want to see if they too would like to get on this ass whipping? Be it our own or, Charybdis's?
Asses shall be whipped.
We're
We're making
not
no
sure which
guarantees
one.
over whose.
Somebody will be stabbed. It might be Sasha. It might be someone else. We don't know.
Sasha.
Probably gonna be Sasha.
Well, again, I have that knack that, your mains will just be an you'll be fine. Jayden will make sure.
She survived many stabbings.
She's trying
Do
to
we
slowly
want to
build up
try?
an immunity.
Yeah, I'm just at some point she's just immune to knives.
She sits at home just poking herself with needles, small amounts of stabbing to try to build up resistance.
Eventually, skin like stone. I'll figure that out.
That's like shooting yourself with a low caliber bullet to build up resistance to higher calibers.
Yeah. The science is there.
Yeah.
Have you not seen Kick-Ass?
Jeez.
Do we want to try and get the Cyclops in on this, or at least maybe see if...
I'll leave you all to figure out which allies you want to bring, if you want to. More is more, but
That it is.
the moment you say Titan or Elemental, they'll probably not be as likely to help.
Oh, we can't just lie to them.
No, we cannot. But also, you realize it's going to be a hard sell for anyone, not me, probably.
Also, do we want to meet earlier with the Varangians to go over just the personal matters between the two bands, i.e. Dixie and Robert's thing?
Dixie and Robert.
We should
Connor
probably
and
get
Kim.
that out of the way too, yeah.
Yes.
Do we just want to try and arrange that today and then be like, hey, there's also a meeting tomorrow if you want to come?
Let's no. This was a day. We'll open that can of worms tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll try to meet with them earlier and then also invite them to the Rubicon planning session of Doom. Okay.
Is that what we're calling it now?
That's what I'm calling it, at least to myself, and out loud. Not to Penelope.
Fair enough.
Doom comes.
And she will call Penelope and put her on speaker. Just because, why not? Let's invite that chaos into our lives.
Do you tell her it's on speaker?
I mean, you can usually tell when a phone's on speaker.
Yeah, usually.
She'll, what does she say when she picks up?
Sasha?
Penelope? You're on speaker, by the way, just so you're aware.
Who's in the room?
At the moment, she looks around, is, Samuel in the room?
Yeah, it's you guys and Samuel. Robert is not present.
At the moment, Connor, Hilarious, Jayden, myself, Samuel, Smoochums, is Spruce here?
Yep.
And then Spruce.
Okay.
Robert is otherwise engaged at the moment.
Yes, I'm aware.
Pardon?
He arranged for a meeting with Dixie to sort some stuff out. Don't worry, I sent Kim along to keep her more peaceable.
Well, that solves one of the questions I was going to ask you about, so we'll just cut to the chase then. We contacted a local, looks over, like, just for clarification, Oracle?
Oracle.
A local Oracle. We're unable to speak to them, but to one of their assistants. And apparently, the Oracle cleared out, upped the insurance on all of their properties, and also told the assistant, take some vacation far out of town.
That's not a good sign.
That is not. So
the insurance thing's a pretty bright idea, though.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I mean,
and you
very
think
clever.
you hear the sound of like pen on paper. Remember to raise insurance on Varangian Holdings. All right, here we go.
What we were going to do is try and meet with everyone, including those outside of the band that are also supernaturally inclined, tomorrow around noon at the Rubicon, to see about, instead of waiting for this thing to attack, to try and figure out a way to just lure it to an advantageous area and take care of it there, instead of just letting it choose the battlefield.
I was about to say circling the wagons, but this is less defense and more going on the offense. It's not a bad idea.
If we wait around, it's just going to... It could just walk into downtown for all we know.
Especially considering who it is.
It's better possibly try to lure it to the nature preserve in the east.
Yeah.
It's less populated, less buildings. If anything, we could possibly even have people cleared out beforehand.
Yeah, some of my contacts in the police were asking me if I thought they should it basically shut the lake down.
It wouldn't hurt. That way, if we want to go on the lake to, say, lure it to that area, we're the only target.
Yeah, might be safer. Not that there's been any more attacks since we dealt with the sirens.
It's just a matter of time. You know that as well as I do.
Yes, that is true. The problem is that being kind of a tourist attraction.
We start shutting it down tonight.
Mm-hmm. I'm just not sure how long this. I'm not sure how long the city will let us keep it shut down. You know, without there having been some more actual disappearances or whatever. But
if we explain it to them, I mean, you seem to have some pull with the police.
Yeah, we're in pretty good with them.
We could also perhaps speak with the media, circulate rumors. The nature preserve is, well, maybe not rumors. People flock to places that are unsafe just to be looky-loos.
Oh, we have Wretched Cuts in the chat, and they have cashed in some points for a stretch. So everybody
I can't
take a
stretch.
moment.
My back hurts. If I stretch, it hurts more.
Stretching is supposed to help stop you from hurting your back.
Nah, I bent funny and I just woke up and existed funny.
Bent funny and I cannot bend anymore.
Yeah, it's like nah. I'm stretching in spirit.
Now, Rap, we can't actually see you, so we're just trusting that you're stretching.
Mm-hmm.
Always stretching.
Oh, thank you, Richard Cuts.
Appreciate it. That was actually.
It's a good reminder
to get up and continue to stretch. I need to get some water anyway.
It's a good reminder to make ourselves not have the posture of a jumbo shrimp.
Too late.
Like, straighten out your backs. Yeah, I'll defer to your idea on that one, but if we start clearing out the wetlands and the forest nature preserve area now, it may just give us a little bit more of an advantage as to, lowering casualties.
Okay. I'll talk to some people about it. Tell them we think something's going down relatively soon. Maybe we can buy a couple of weeks anyway.
If nothing else, there have been. Jayden did tell us about the stuff popping up there in the nature preserve, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If nothing else, there have been random, fields of flowers, orchids. Those are the words. There might have been some orchids in there, we don't know. Just things that have not been there popping up more frequently. I mean, there is stuff happening there. We could say perhaps it could get more aggressive. We just want to,
Yep.
Though there is a small chance we might run into Gaia.
Well,
let's hope not.
If she's coming for this city, we're gonna run into her eventually anyway.
Yeah, but she's been making her home in the grove.
Ah.
So
well,
there will
that side
be
of the lake, that's almost fitting. Huh.
Yeah. So, like I said, there will probably be a small chance she will show up.
Are there any other areas that are as unpopulated as that would be safe to battle a monster at?
Probably not.
Penelope's like the lake's fairly long. We'll
maybe
do some checking and see.
I mean, alternate locations are always good if it's easier to clear out one than the other.
Now, how we're gonna lure something like Scylla? I mean, we don't know what's got her in the area or what's motivating her.
Seemed to be interested when we were out there on a boat. Could start there.
I think the sirens chanting had something to do with that. I think maybe she's been out of that lake this entire time. Like, since the last attack.
We do have the audio of that chant. Could we perhaps try using that to lure her along?
The A siren's magic is in their voice. I don't know if that would record or not.
It would be
We
worth
could
a shot.
certainly experiment with it and see.
Have the footage.
Might have Chad run by and grab like a little remote control boat. Just put a recorder on there and send it out and see if anything happens.
Could definitely arrange perhaps just to get the audio over to you. Looks at hilarious.
Yeah, she rattles off an email address. Yeah, mail it here.
Just curious, how long has the whole Dixie just having a hate on for Robert been going on? Forever?
I think from the moment she showed up. She didn't mention it to us
Okay.
at first. We sort of glommed on that it's a thing.
Yeah. Looking at the others and just mouthing, I'm dark elf. Like, do we want to meet up early to talk about that?
Well, considering some of the shit she pulled before this.
It'd almost kill me.
And hired assassins to try to kill Robert.
Yeah, that's part of what the meeting was going to be.
I see.
Would you like to meet up earlier, perhaps?
I'll just be blunt. I'll say this. She tries that again, I'm suplexing her into the pavement.
I think you just want to suplex her into the pavement. That's the thing.
I think it's just a fetish for you. I think he wants to wrestle women. Big women.
Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle shall be legendary.
I mean...
Would you like to meet up earlier to speak about it? Or...
We might need to. Like I said, Robert had called her up earlier today.
I appreciate Kim going with her just to make sure she didn't try to complete whatever vendetta she has.
I think it's something with her father and Robert's father. I don't think it's anything. I don't want to say it's not anything personal if she's actually trying to kill him. You're quite certain, you're positive it was her. You got actual evidence that it was her. Or...
We were told flat out that it was hired by the daughter of Surtur. We were given a description, voice, etc.
Well, I'm sure Surtur's got more than one daughter. How many of them he'd have with southern accents in this part of the world is... Yeah.
Especially considering all the other circumstantial evidence involved that's been happening since she got here that I've held on to.
Yeah, we knew she had a beef. We didn't know it was... Well, we didn't know she had hired assassins. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And blew up a power nose in.
Yeah. The explosion that happened across the lake, however long it was ago...
It's only been a few days.
Did Dixie own any buildings in that area by chance?
Not to my knowledge. But, it's not like members of the band are required to tell me their holdings.
Yeah, I understand.
Probably wouldn't be too hard to look up deeds and stuff, to find out who owned that property. I saw the news where it had blown up, but I didn't really think anything of it. I figured it was a meth lab or something.
No, that was her trying to blow up Telarius with a bomb. Several of them.
And
Why would she
innocents.
try to blow up Telarius?
Because we were trying to lure whoever ordered the hit out.
There were also 2 gentlemen in there.
It actually did kill them.
Yeah, it actually did kill them.
Alright, this is disturbing news.
Yes, it is.
For what it is worth, I spoke with the gentleman, and they don't recall much of anything.
Which could mean she fate-bound them into it. enforced it.
I mean, that is possible. It could also... We're thinking Gaia's into everything right now, but we could just be totally off base and just being a bit overly healthy paranoid.
Better paranoid than dead.
Yeah. How early do you want to meet? Do you want to... And where would you like to meet? Before we meet at the Rubicon.
Are we meeting with the entire band? Or is there just gonna be a couple of us?
It's all of us
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to the Rubicon.
All
We're
of
all
us
going to
who's-
this.
available anyway.
Hang on a second. You hear Paige flipping. Take down this address. She rattles off an address. It's a vacant lot close to the Rubicon.
Right.
The road, fairly busy road next to it, so it's kind of public, but open enough that we see if anybody was close by trying to listen in on us.
Jets and sharks.
And then from there we can just move straight over to the Rubicon.
Right.
Sounds good to me.
So if we're meeting at the Rubicon at noon, had y'all told her the time y'all meeting at the Rubicon yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Noon.
did.
All right, so we're meeting
Sure.
the Rubicon at noon. Let's meet at
And like that, there's going to be like all kinds of, or maybe not all kinds, but other supernaturals there.
let's meet at this meet at the lot. Oh, I don't know, 11 or so.
Okay. I will be there at 10:30.
Oh, let's just there at 10:30. Like, well,
Or
okay, we're
do
just
that.
getting this started early.
Right. That's character development. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, then. We'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm
All
going
right.
to go
Talk to you tomorrow.
back up Kim, I guess.
Good luck.
If
Phone
it
hangs
gets
up.
crazy, let us. Oh, she's gone. Please not say bye on the phone.
It's just not her style.
I know.
Socially
Is that,
awkward.
is that some kind of superstition, maybe?
I mean, it's possible.
Maybe everyone she's ever said goodbye to has died.
She doesn't believe in goodbyes. Maybe she only believes in bad byes.
Maybe she's just rude or just doesn't like y'all. Who knows?
That was bad.
All right. That was all I had.
All right. So that's all y'all had to do for the day. Would Robert come back to Talarius's place, or would he just go home? He'd been staying at Talarius's the last couple of nights, hadn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both him and Jayden have been.
Okay. In that case, Robert would come back later that evening.
Oh, good, he's alive.
Yes, things apparently did go pear-shaped at the meeting, though. But we'll get into that next week, when Duba is back with us.
Oh boy.
We're going to flash back and cover his little meeting with Dixie.
So it's
Much,
probably
much
a
like
good
we
thing
did
you
Jayden's meeting with
mentioned
Gaia.
it.
Let me
Dixie's
just,
dead.
Let me just make sure he doesn't close next week. He opens next week, so we're good.
Okay.
Me sitting here going, was it a good thing we mentioned this?
And when he told me earlier he was going to make it today, me and him had a very short discussion on it. So
Yeah.
he knows
Good.
he's coming in next week to do the flashback meeting.
Okay, because I told him, I'm like, did you tell them that you're not going to make it today? He's like, I just did it. I'm like, so.
As long as he tells Jason, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, no, all I wanted to do is make sure he at least told you.
Oh yeah, he's always real good about dropping me a message on Discord or something. So anyway, after the events he relays to you, there's really no pointing in the 11 o'clock meeting. We'll just go straight to the Rubicon.
All right, if you say so.
Is Dixie around at the Rubicon meeting?
Yeah.
No,
Is she
she
on
does
a
not
short
seem.
lease?
She does not seem to be present.
It's Dixie, dude. He would have told us that.
Would he though? He's not here to tell us.
You'll find out next week. You'll find out next week what he told you this week.
Okay.
We just look at Penelope and Kim. Is she dead? Did you kill her? Did you banish her? Is she in a box somewhere?
We just find her and gave her KP duty. It'll be fine. Or she's at their home office writing on the blackboard. I will not try to kill fellow Scions. I will not try to kill fellow Scions. Could be in your all of these.
She has to write it in Latin too.
In Old Norse.
Yeah,
they gotta at least be a language
Old
she knows.
Norse.
Old Nordic runes.
Yep.
Mhm.
He's carving it into stone. Really
Alright,
big
so you-
apology card to give to Robert.
I'm picturing one of those kind of the cards that have like the little electronic thing in it that makes noise. Just hers is like plastique. It
There
just
you
says
go.
I'm sorry on front, and when you open it up, it explodes.
It's on brand though. She does solve problems with explosions.
Dixie's really just the scion of Jokey Smurf. Alright. So when you pull into the Rubicon the next day, there's several vehicles out front. One's like an old beat up pickup truck.
Shit, it's blackjack.
Very similar style of truck, though. I mean, it looks like an old farm truck.
Mhm.
Even to the point of there being like, scattered bits of hay in the back.
Blackjack's truck is white.
There's a few motorcycles.
Oh, this is promising at least.
Yeah.
When you step inside, there's you see Anthony there. You see Carrie there, or did I get the name right that time?
Yeah, Carrie's the
The waitress.
fetch. Bridget is the basement.
Right. You see the two of them there. There's a 9-foot Cyclops. Or I take that back. He's probably about 8 foot. He's definitely a smaller breed of Cyclops than y'all have dealt with previously. And he is dressed like a farmhand. He's got a big cowboy hat on. There's a piece of straw sticking out of his mouth.
I love him already.
Yeehaw.
Mm-hmm.
And if Nebraska's an open carry state, he's got a pistol at his side.
As I believe that was the one with the massive double-barrel shotgun.
It's just two like cannons strapped to a plank of wood.
Yeah.
It's just one of those old style pirate cannons. Just
Has like a net of cannonballs.
I know who you're thinking of, Eric, and that is who this is. But at the moment, he's got a pistol at his side.
Ah.
The shotgun he carries around with him, at the farm. This is his nice, shiny, dress, clean up and go to town pistol. Nebraska's open carry, so, he can just be packing it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious will say hello in Greek to him. He's gonna look at me like, what the fuck?
Says Greek back with a really country accent.
No, he has a very Greek accent when he speaks as a Greek. He kind of smiles like something you said amused him, and he kind of tips his hat to you. And he like I said greets you in return.
Like very Hilarious knows conversational Greek at this point.
Conversational Greek. I didn't think I would hear that statement.
He tells you your Greek's pretty good, especially for folks in this area.
Thanks. I've had a lot of Duolingo classes.
You're a Morris kid, right?
Yeah.
Word's gotten around.
Okay.
There are also some centaurs over at the bar drinking.
Hell yeah.
They're the ones that rode the motorcycle. We don't know how.
They are the motorcycle.
That's the next question is, are these centaurs the same ones that came after us?
No, they're dressed pretty local.
Okay.
I mean, no pants, but they were, they were like off the rack shirts.
Yeah.
And Midwest America does have some centaur tribes that have immigrated over.
Yeah.
Basically, imagine anywhere that's got wild horses for sure has them.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine they'd be wearing those very Western, like rodeo style shirts.
Man, it would fit.
And one of the centaurs is currently arm wrestling somebody that just looks like your typical biker.
Be winning.
It seems to be kind of stalemated.
He has a much better center of gravity. He has 4 legs. What's his excuse?
Other guy's swole as fuck.
Other guy's swole. Okay.
And the bikers all have a lot of like Norse kind of runic stuff on them, which isn't unusual for normal bikers, but
Sons of Anarchy shit.
Sons of Odin.
The Sons of Odin. Oh no.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
screwed! Come from the land of the... That's all we can do.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all have gotten there before the Varangians, apparently.
Okay.
Though, like I said, when they do show up, they are short a Dixie. So it's just Kim, Chad, and Penelope.
Wait, weren't we supposed to have a meeting with them before the meeting?
We're going to have
yeah.
that meeting
We called
next
it off.
week,
Oh.
or find out why we called it off next
Oh,
week
Yeah.
Okay.
in a flashback.
But they come in. Anthony has pushed together a bunch of tables,
Yeah.
so everybody can kind of sit around them, or in the case of the centaur, stand.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha will have brought Smoochums, and Smoochums has gone back to adorable, fluffy alligator.
Yeah.
Alligator with a line mane.
Could I fit a dragon in here? No. No, you could not.
It's like perched on the roof.
I'm
We wanted
debating.
this meeting to be like, stealth, but we have a bus-sized dragon just chilling on the roof. Is there a back lot to the Rubicon?
Sure. That's where the delivery trucks drive around to.
Mm-hmm.
Though at this point, Shauna running around in the city is probably going to cause a panic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's off hunting somewhere. She's gone to the nature preserve ahead of us to get lunch.
Fair. He did tell her hunting wild animals is fine.
But not killing them enough that, they become extinct in the wildlife.
He taught her about that. He has connection to the wilds too.
Okay.
It's one dragon. It's not going to eat enough deer to drive deer into extinction.
You don't know that.
Not the way deer are.
Mm.
Might save some people's cars, though.
I mean, she right though.
Yeah, I've lost a car to a deer.
I think you told us that story during Vampire.
Yeah,
Probably so.
because I think a couple of us were deer hunters.
Yes, and y'all were over in the part of town that it happened in.
Yeah.
Uh,
I had a feeling you were getting a lot of fun out of that one.
yep.
Watch this out of the localized deer population.
Just gonna run vampire here just so they kill the deer here.
Though I have been seeing fawns around the house. There's one little side road they always cross over that I saw a couple of. They were obviously fawns. But kind of that adolescent,
Gawky teenager deer.
And then I saw them a couple days ago. In addition to those, she had this little bitty one following around. It's adorable.
Nice.
I never see a buck though, but there's new fawns every year, so there's got to be a buck around here.
That would make sense.
He's just hanging out in his palace. It's fine.
They come to me. He's a Chad. They come to me.
It's a Chad.
I hate it. I hate it.
Great. Now in my head, when I do see him, if I do ever spot him, that's what I'm going to be thinking. There's Chad.
I'm not sorry at all.
All right.
But anyway,
back to the meeting.
They all come in. They come in. They sit down. Anthony gets drinks for everybody. Carrie is not quite making eye contact with any of y'all.
Who?
Carrie.
Yeah.
Oh.
You said it right.
Well, she sounded questioning, so then I questioned myself.
Oh, I couldn't.
I know.
I couldn't hear the name. I thought you said Harry. I'm like, who's Harry? Sasha will make note of that and go give tall redhead woman a hug later.
Chad sits down. He takes a drink, and then he kind of looks at all of y'all. You realize you may be looking, or some of y'all may be looking at him a little funny. Kind of glancing at him.
It's absolutely looking at him weird.
Hilarious. Totally looking.
Hilarious is absolutely looking at him weird.
Yeah.
Whoa, what do you? He looks at like he expects something to be on his shirt. What you staring at?
Sasha's like chuckling.
It's something we can talk about later. This is a little more important.
Which is what we'll kind of cut to the quick of. Everyone here, in one way or another, has some connection to the supernatural. Either through a deific parent, or just through birth.
Points at the centaur.
No.
Not pointing at a centaur, I'm just saying.
That guy right there with the 4 legs and the hoofs. No.
His mama wasn't just some kind of freak. He was born that way.
And we all know there's something in the lake. There's no getting around that.
The Cyclops speaks up. It's not the first time there's been something in that lake.
Well,
I was here the last time. Not at the lake. I mean, in Nebraska. I got a farm up a little north and west of here. Well, he'd probably say ranch, not farm.
if nothing else, we aim to make this hopefully the last time there's something in the lake here.
At least for a good long while.
It was a pretty big something in the lake last time.
It's a pretty big something in the lake this time.
Probably the same thing that was in it last time.
I'd assume.
From what we can gather, it is Charybdis.
Scylla.
If not
Scylla.
Scylla. We don't know where Charybdis is. We don't know where Gaia is. What we would like to do is prevent what an oracle thinks may happen from happening. and prevent Olympus from being destroyed.
One of the centaurs speaks up. What does this oracle think is going to happen?
We were not given particulars because the Oracle has already left town. They upped the insurance on all of their local properties and hightailed it out.
So you can kind of fill in the blanks.
The centaurs look very concerned about this.
They also told their assistant to get out, and their assistant is doing so.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What we propose that we do is somehow lure Scylla to a lesser populated area, somewhere away from the city itself, to reduce civilian casualties, damage, just looky-loos. To make this... I'm not saying it will make the battle easier, but it will, one, give us the advantage of choosing where we battle this creature, and two, give us the advantage of not having other distractions.
You know, saving cats in trees.
Exactly. For once, we go on the offensive. We don't wait for this battle to come to us. We bring the battle to it.
The centaurs look very concerned when you're talking about the oracles. Which, from your previous experience, that's a big part of their culture, apparently. The bikers all kind of, yeah, lured into a trap. And then pounce.
Looks over at Penelope. Were you able to locate any other areas that would be advantageous to lure it to?
She pulls out some paper. Just typical, 8x11 or whatever, Throws down some printed out Google Maps. Where there's just certain areas of the shoreline that she's kind of got marked. Your ideal of the preserve over by Orthris. Whatever.
Like the east end of the lake.
Yeah. Well, it's not the end. The lake continues on way off the map that I've got presented to you.
East end of the map that we have access to. Our world, as far as
that's
we're
not a
concerned.
bad spot. There's a spot closer to the dam that's empty.
Do we want to be close to the dam? Is immediately what I'm thinking.
She's like, it's not right up on the dam.
Okay.
But no, it would not be my first choice of places. On the opposite end of the lake, there's some empty space. And when I say empty, I mean relatively empty.
Relatively how, like,
There may be a few
warehouses or
people.
schools?
There may be a few people with individual homes out that way. People that like to be a little out on their own.
People we could evacuate on an individual basis, perhaps.
Yes, it would not be a massive evacuation if we had to.
It may be better than fighting it in the nature preserve, considering the activity that we've seen there from Gaia.
She points to another spot that, like, right here is it's a campground, so we could relatively easily, get that just shut down and everybody run out of it.
Yeah.
Now, some of my contacts have noticed, while the locals are starting to avoid the lake as much as they can, we're having an influx of, like, cryptozoologists and, weirdo monster chasers coming in to get on their boats and try to catch Scylla on film.
Perhaps we then shut down the lake.
Yeah.
Or at least see about shutting the lake. It's not safe.
Penelope tells you, I spoke to the mayor about that. Of course, he's not in charge of the entire lake, so he can't, we have to talk to somebody at the county level.
Yeah.
But he can kind of, within the city limits, he can kind of shut.
Like an ordinance of some kind.
Yeah. He can shut the shore, basically shut the shores down there. He's a little hesitant to shut down any of the factories or warehouses along the shore without a better timetable of when something might happen. Though he does have these companies getting, or has asked them to make evacuation plans. Make sure their people know their evacuation plans.
That'd be best.
Do we want to figure out a timetable?
A timetable of, and this is Anthony speaking, a timetable of when we think Scylla may attack, or a timetable of when we want to.
Timetable of when we want to lure Scylla. We make Scylla work on our timetable as much as we can.
Well,
this much magic, I'm sure, with them also being supernatural.
Well, if we want to surprise her, I do have my dad's staff. So I could real quickly just hit the center of the lake. That'd probably get something moving.
How long does that thing stretch?
Infinite.
Yes.
I mean, give me enough time, I could go poke the moon with it.
Please don't poke the moon with it. You might destroy the tides.
Moon's haunted. Gotta go.
What? It's haunted.
As far as I know, it has no real limit to its reach. I can't, effectively fight with it out of a certain distance, but...
It goes full Namekian. Got it.
Yes?
If anything, we try several different things to try and lure Scylla where we would like them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that reminds me. I do look at Chad. If you have like a boat, I have the audio of the sirens that we're singing. I can send it to you, and we can see if that works.
He's like, you said you were to mention this to Chad?
Just say it to Chad. I say it out loud, but I'm looking at Chad.
He's like, yeah. Penelope had me get an RC boat.
Yeah. I got you.
We haven't. He's like, we haven't tried it yet, but
I haven't given you the audio yet, so.
If anything, we want to make sure the lake is as clear as possible before we try that.
Mm-hmm.
And I myself would vote for perhaps trying to lure it to the campgrounds. While there are people possibly there, it's easy enough to be like, okay, you got to get your shit and go.
Couldn't hurt.
Shot.
How overgrown with those orchards is the campground area?
Pretty.
Pretty overgrown. And there's a lot more than when, I was there last time. So they're popping up at a pretty fast rate.
But that's over there in the forested area, not necessarily campgrounds. That's like a national or a state park kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there might be some campgrounds on the kind of the outer periphery of it, but not deep into it.
Right. So it could work in theory.
And if nothing else, if defeated, it would give them a great tourist attraction, Come to Scylla's fall campgrounds.
I mean, it could work.
Chad's like, oh, we call it Titanfall, but we'd probably get sued.
Yeah, we'd get sued for that, I think.
Immediately sued.
But it's such a good game.
We can call it Titans Fall.
Penelope's
Two
looking
words.
mildly confused when Chad says that, and then when Connor mentions it being a game, she just rolls her eyes.
I'm just saying Titans Fall. There.
It's 2 words.
I've
It's not
solved,
one.
I've solved your legal dispute. But we have to get it out of here first before we can work on licensing.
Yeah, that's very true.
One of the bikers sets his drink down and kind of leans on the board on the table. Do we know how big this thing is?
I have video of like the whirlpool as it was starting.
And
Well,
what- and the
that was
tentacle.
that was Charybdis getting called.
That was still Scylla though, right?
No, that was Charybdis getting called to help.
Charybdis
Scylla.
is the whirlpool.
You were
Gotcha.
seeing the dark shape you were seeing pass under the... And you did see the ends of some tentacles because it snapped off y'all's motor.
Looks over at Penelope. You were under the water. Did you happen to see it?
Only at the distance. It was night and foggy, so it was dark up under there.
Yeah.
Kind of head tilt. Because OOC, if she has a certain purview, she would be able to see in darkness. Just as a heads up.
Which we know she does.
That's fair. She would have that.
Because we've seen her use darkness
Yeah.
powers before.
Yeah, out of her
Not,
range.
not as a metagaming, just as a, hey.
Hey, help us out!
You've seen
you
her throw
bitch.
darkness up and then have no problem beating somebody inside it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She tells you it was at a distance, so she didn't have much to compare size to. I mean, she tells you we're not dealing with Godzilla,
Ostracized.
but probably bigger than that. Bigger than the Cyclops y'all took to All's Good, or we took to All's Good.
He thumbs back to the Cyclops.
We come in a lot of different sizes. And the one y'all fought was like 15, 20 feet tall.
Right.
Did you ever get in contact with him?
Connor was going to before the meeting.
Oh yeah. You could call up to All's Good and left him a message. But he has to walk to town, so.
I mean,
Didn't make the meeting.
he has to walk here, so he might not make the meeting. But I did leave a message for him.
If we see him around town.
And by leave a message, I asked Hilarious to transcribe one in Greek because I can't speak it.
Oh, that's right, because he was the one that only spoke Greek.
Yeah. I distinctly remember that. So Connor's like, I could leave a message, but
If
It's
y'all
all
mention him,
the opposite of Greek to him.
the Cyclops here at the table was like, if y'all need somebody to go pick him up, I could go grab one of my trailers.
that could help, yeah. Because he's like 15 something feet tall, so
Yeah.
I'd enjoy
There's a lot of variation in how big we get.
Every able body would help.
indeed.
I mean, I know all of you don't exactly live in Olympus, but we all live here in the area. It wouldn't stop at Olympus if something happened here. It would just spread. It's best to stop it while we still can.
And it wouldn't stop at Olympus. It would go outward.
And the Cyclops was like, well, I reckon, and if Gaia is behind this, I reckon that depends on what her goal is. Do we know what her goal is? I mean, it's all fine and good to stick a giant creature on a city, but why?
So she wouldn't tell me why she's in Olympus, but she does want to kill Zeus.
Well, from the conversation you
everybody.
had with us, she's here looking for something,
Yeah, she's looking for something, but she wouldn't tell me what she's looking for.
and it's necessary for her to, I mean, as you put it, turn the wheel of the cycle to kill Zeus.
Yep. I mean,
Well,
She-
dethrone Zeus anyway. Usurp Zeus. I don't know that she specifically said kill.
no, she did.
Let's say Connor is inferring kill because he's read enough stuff about the Greco-Romans.
No, she said,
That's the only
you know,
way Zeus is coming off the throne.
well, she did say, you know, he will not be, he can't not, like, he wouldn't be living forever. Like, she did say, like, die.
Okay.
That I remember.
Quick OOC. Successes are what and up?
8.
Never mind then.
Did you,
What were you
did try to
rolling
second
for?
Blaze?
No. One of my new knacks. Overworld knowledge. Once per scene, make a knack roll. For each success, ask a question of the story guide relevant to the events transpiring. Something you would know or have studied, and receive a truthful and applicable answer.
Isn't a knack roll still uses your skills, doesn't it?
Well, I think I have 2 dots in that knack, so I just rolled 2d10.
Well, it's whatever skills are natural to that particular calling.
Okay, it's Sage.
So that'd be like your intelligence and academics or something like that.
Maybe this would
That's
be more
what the story
survival.
guide call that.
I'd imagine
Sure.
so anyway, since this specifically is knowledge based.
Yeah.
But
Maybe your intelligence and your knack ranking. So maybe those 2 that you did roll plus your intelligence. Go ahead and roll your
then I will
intelligence.
roll intelligence, which is 4.
It's pretty good.
hey, roll
Got
another
a
one.
success.
All right, reroll that 10.
It's a 10 too. Alright.
Best of times, worst of times.
Well, I mean,
All right.
That's a lot of ones.
A lot of ones.
you do get one.
I get one
Okay.
question.
Yep.
I'm gonna think on it. You guys keep chitter chattering.
Okay.
I'm like figuring the wording here. It's like using a wish spell here.
I like the thought that like Sasha's just like just off, like we were all talking and then she's just like off, like looking off into space.
Yeah.
Like, hey, is set. Hey.
I think all of us want this to be taken care of ASAP
Yeah.
before it goes to someone's farm or someone's grove or glade or wherever you guys.
My ranch is awful far inland for a Titan of the Sea to get to. But some of my stepkids live here in town, so I do have an interest in keeping the cities.
Gaia is not a Titan of the Sea, though.
Yeah.
Still, yes. This is just step 1.
Well, if Gaia was going to take a real personal hand, like physically personal hand in this, we're all dead. Let's not delude ourselves there.
Oh yeah, no.
She's
I mean,
playing. He goes.
She's
She
pushing around
typically,
pawns.
yeah, she typically plays the manipulator, so she has at least some deniability.
Some.
Until she gets an upper hand, it will just be pawns, which is why we don't allow her to get that upper hand.
Fair enough.
Okay. Question for the overworld knowledge.
Okay.
Is it just Olympus that she is targeting? Or is she making a widespread attack and Olympus is just like the starting point?
She seems to be focused solely on Olympus.
Okay.
Probably like Jayden was saying, that there was something here she wants.
Okay. Cool. I will roll another one later on. Probably next game, just to see if we can figure out what she wants. I promise not to just abuse this power. No
Well,
matter
and I
what
have to
she
give you something applicable. Yeah.
Yeah, applicable and truthful.
But overworld knowledge covers a lot of stuff. That's not going to cover her every whim and motivation.
Yeah, it would just be like a basic, like, is it a physical item? Like, is it a physical item that she's looking for here, or is it just, something immaterial? I don't know.
Look at this shit. The shit is amazing. I'm not sorry.
So Anthony's like, all right, so where do we want to try to spring our little trap?
The campground is easily evacuatable.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of other businesses or things around the campground?
We can always
No,
get
not
police
really.
involved if we want to get them out quickly. So nobody puts up a fight, really.
Well, yeah, we could,
We can have them do that.
something like cover story if there's a gas leak, they need to evacuate the area.
I'm good at lying like that. I got that. Don't actually start a gas leak.
No,
Looks at
not
everyone
actually
here.
start a gas leak. That's just crazy. Because we're going to be fighting there. Let's not do that.
One of the bikers was like, wait. But if we had an actual gas leak and things started going badly, maybe we could just blow her up.
The problem with that is we're also there.
Well, if we're losing, half of us are probably already dead.
Play that by ear.
Look, just it'd be fine. Die with a weapon in your hand. Valhalla's gates will welcome you in.
I don't think Valhalla's going to welcome. Okay, moving on.
Hey, we're not that picky as long as you die a warrior.
Maybe Robert.
Robert would totally go into Valhalla.
Connor sitting here, why am I get the feeling they'd be throwing a party when I died then?
Yeah, they'd like you fine, man.
Just travel to the different overworlds after we all die. It's fine.
Yeah.
If it's going that pear-shaped, sure. We'll call it like Plan G or something. I don't know.
Plan Z.
Plan Z. For
one of the other bikers like, no, Plan Omega.
Sure.
I mean, personally, I kind of like the Plan G option G for gas. But that's just me.
I want to have a bit more planning before deciding to blow the rest of us up.
The centaurs are all nodding along with Jayden. Yes, let's.
Yeah, like running or yeah. When do we want to try and spring this?
The sooner the better.
Tomorrow?
Within 24 hours, within 48 hours.
Let's do it 2 days just so there's enough time that the cops can get everybody out.
And everyone can make their preparations here.
That's a bit morbid, but okay.
You know what they're signing up for.
Yeah. Oh, I'm aware.
But have your affairs in order. We got this.
Up the insurance on all of your properties.
That's where I need to call Gramps.
Up your life insurance, just in case.
Sasha's just like, as one of like the children of a minor aspected death, like, oh god.
A minor aspect of it. Doesn't she rule the Netgear at this point?
I said she's like one of the big ones, but she's not the death, like, primary death god.
I thought she managed to trick.
She's not the leader, but she's the one that tricked to get the leader onto the throne.
She's the power behind the throne. She's
yeah.
the kingmaker. Or
literally.
maker.
Gotcha.
Literally, she picked up all the bits and pieces and reassembled.
Well, most of the bits and pieces.
No, she found that one too.
I didn't think she did because I thought that was why the Nile was so fertile.
It depends on the myth.
Well, every version is true here, so.
Yeah. Okay.
So Penelope's like, well, probably better. Or actually, Kim would probably speak of at this point because he hadn't talked.
Amazingly.
Sooner is probably better than later.
I agree with that.
The longer we
24
wait, the more
hours?
ready whatever Gaia is planning, whatever she's getting ready to do, she'll be more ready the longer we wait.
Yeah,
24
agree with-
hours then?
works for me.
Will that be enough
Cyclops
time?
is like, so tomorrow at noon?
Is this lake affected by tides?
To some minor degree, I'm sure, because it is a
Okay.
relatively large body of water, but it's not like a Great Lake or anything.
Okay.
Mm.
Would that be enough time for the police to clear out the campground?
Penelope's like, if we can get them started on it right away. Now, again, that's when we're going to have to call the county on. But I can talk to the mayor. Everybody give me a method of contacting you.
Mm.
Yeah, my number.
And everybody, the bikers, the centaurs, everybody reaches out and pulls out a cell phone.
Well, Penelope already got mine, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penelope has all of our band.
So, all right. So let's, plan for noon tomorrow. If I can get the county, like commissioner of parks or whatever, to evacuate that campground. If it's gonna take longer than that, I will contact everybody. We'll just put it off one day. If they can have it done by then, or 2 days if they require that time.
Mm-hmm.
Meet back here or at another location. It might be a bit obvious if we're all showing up here again, considering.
Then we just meet at the battle place.
At the campground.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Talaris, if you'll send me that audio, me and Chad can spend the rest of the days seeing if a recording of their singing gets any kind of reaction.
Yeah, sure. Just let us know and be careful.
Because right now that's what we're counting on to lure. So if that doesn't work,
Yeah.
we're going to come up with some method of luring her.
Dick.
Connor, do you have contact with that one siren?
You did get her number. Because she
Yeah,
would have had to text you to say that she's out of town.
I do have contact with 2 of them, yes.
Okay, good.
I don't think the last one gave you any contact information.
Well, she didn't, but she said she was going to go to her sister.
Oh, that's
And
fair. That's fair.
they had, so
So,
we could use that if the audio doesn't work.
it's fair. I'd have to rescind their fate binding because I bound them to never come back. But
For a good cause.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, Kim just looks at you, but you can do that.
yeah,
If we get in contact with them.
Mm-hmm.
Would having them bring others in be a good idea? Or just the 2 of them?
well, that's the thing.
The Cyclops picks up. I reckon that calling in sirens is not usually a really good idea.
Yeah.
They're not exactly the most trustworthy sorts.
Just stick with the 2 then. They change their tune, no pun intended. We kill them.
Chad laughs when you say that, though.
Thought you made a joke there for a second.
Thought I did too.
Come think of it, a couple of the bikers chuckled too.
Eichels.
The Bikers.
The bikers.
They're Cyclops bikers. One
Or
of them,
Centaur
maybe.
bikers.
Does anyone have any questions about the general idea of the plan?
Or concerns or additional ideas.
I'm sure everyone
please.
has a concern.
Well, outside of the usual, oh god, I might die concern. We all have that concern.
Yep.
One of the centaurs speaks. Do we know what kind of weaponry could harm her?
would we know? And what kind of roll would I have to make to know that?
I don't know
A
that
little
you would.
shit.
I don't know that there's really any myths about.
There's no god killer weapon.
You know, there is at least one story of Hercules killing Scylla.
Was it just like brute strength or?
But then her father showed up and applied a torch to the body some kind of way and brought her back. I forget exactly what it was.
It's not fire.
So, you know, Hercules killed her some kind of way once. So presumably enough force will do it.
Apply weapon directly to the forehead.
The centaur's not.
Probably
You see them all kind of leaning into the Mosins? The Mosins.
Mosins.
Large caliber rifle
Oh,
dates back to the Second World
It's
War,
the-
First World War.
Yeah.
And then one of them speaks of you can kill buildings with one of the things.
well, bring at least enough for one of you, or one for each of you.
Mhm.
Quicker we drop it, the quicker our job is done.
Remember, centaurs are kind of like horse archers. Like I'm out of game. I'm literally certain that that's where the myths of them came from. Were steppe archers.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
For the record, it's this weapon, I think.
Yes, I
So
think you're
it's
right.
effective.
I got a buddy that's got one that he is fond of the. It's a gun designed to kill a building. Quotes. I think it's like 50. I think it's like a 50
That's
cal or something.
fantastic.
It's bolt action, but packs a punch.
Meant to drop Tyrannosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
For big game. For a bigger game, Mosin.
The biggest game.
For big game and maybe small tanks.
Small tanks.
When you have to kill a titan.
Yeah. When something's just gotta die.
And like the 5 things behind it.
Yep.
But yeah, the biggest ordinance you guys have is probably going to be the best idea.
I can do
All
that.
of your tricks.
I'm not saying launch a small nuke if you happen to have one, but you know, arms fire could do the trick, or monkey stick.
Can we get a battleship into the lake within the next 24 hours?
Drop a sub in there.
Get us Red October.
You know, I think it was the British and the Germans in World War One. Took ships apart, shipped them across Africa to Lake Victoria, reassembled them, and had a naval battle.
Yeah.
That's just fighting with Legos.
Have you stepped on a
So
Lego?
much neat stuff going on and nobody talks about it.
I mean, it's like that. We're talking about random naval things, like that one in D-Day, that one ship captain who purposefully flooded part of his ship just to angle it higher so he could get the shells shooting farther.
Nice.
I was tickled by
Sometimes
that
you
one.
gotta-
I was like, yes. I was like, because like the front had driven further in, and so they couldn't cover the American and British soldiers anymore. So he literally flooded the ship, so he tilted, so he could keep providing cover fire with the guns.
Respect.
Sir,
Yeah.
we're sinking. It's on purpose. Don't worry.
We're only sinking
Yeah.
a little bit.
Don't worry
We're
about
not
it.
sinking. We're angling.
We're angling. Yes.
But this part of the conversation is going on. Carrie kind of pulls Anthony back to one corner of the room. Everybody's kind of like, and there's a hush kind of whisper.
Does it? Can I use an assess attitude roll? Can I see if it looks aggressive
Yeah, give me a roll.
or sad? You want me to roll?
Oh, you said can I roll a such and such like you knew what it was? You
I
wanted
said
to roll.
I know it's an assess attitude, but the roll's still up to you.
Probably empathy or something.
All
Likely
right.
empathy.
We've all just dumped points into our empathy at this point. Like,
I already had points in my empathy.
okay, I dumped points into my empathy.
All right,
I mean,
manipulation, and yeah, empathy.
Not great at empathy, but I'm
No,
okay.
you're really not. Which is like
Marvels.
freaky.
Marvel. Give yourself
Marvel,
2.
I'm not gonna use it.
Well, give yourself 2. You think you can do that without?
Okay, sure. I'll give myself 2.
Well, our blessing, I mean.
Yeah.
Imbue a legend.
I'll roll subterfuge instead then. That's 3. Boop. 2 successes.
All right. So you're not catching the words. You're just
No.
looking at the.
I'm just looking at the emotions of it.
She looks resigned. Antony looks at first agitated. Little flash of anger. That you think is fear motivated. Something is scaring him. So he's just kind of, it's making him react in kind of an angry fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets a little bit louder at the end. You hear for sure that he's telling her no about something before he turns and starts walking back to the table. And then, let's see. Do any of y'all have any kind of enhanced senses?
Checking all of our stuff.
I mean, I can make a roll for it, maybe.
Well, if you don't, you don't. I was trying to remember if one of y'all did.
I think I want to say Jayden has like to keep her privacy, but nothing to like additionally read.
To keep her privacy, but nothing to invade other people's privacy. All right.
Correct.
I mean, yeah, no, nothing really. I mean,
No.
I have
No.
enhancements when I'm tracking and,
Okay.
but
Nothing for
other
like
than that-
sneakiness.
I was also literally just reading body language versus like.
Yeah. Well, you see her say something else to him as he's walking back, but you don't catch what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But he is very tense when he gets back to the table.
You good, Anthony?
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Too late, we are.
Kathy just kind of scowls up and walks to the back of the building, or y'all are in like the eating area. She walks to the back somewhere.
The direction where perhaps her basement is.
It is, but everything that's in the back room is that back that way. So.
Then I think we have a plan.
Sounds good.
Sharpen your swords, polish your guns, pray to whoever needs praying to, and we meet up tomorrow.
Yep.
Everybody kind of nods, and there's one more round of booze handed out.
Hilarious will bring their cup of they got mead up and be like, to a successful battle.
The centaurs and the bikers are very enthusiastic. Like, yeah! And Chad.
Sasha will raise to that, because why the hell not?
Mm-hmm.
Well, down their mead. Then look directly at Chad and say,
Wait. Video.
Yes. Before you go, I would like to talk to you one-on-one.
Well, everybody else is starting to get to this point.
Yeah.
The Cyclops, and I'll have his name next week. I forget what it is. Because he's actually on one of the books. But he said, well, that's probably all the drinking I need to do. I gotta get back to the ranch, get the trailer, and get off to All's-Good.
Buddy, thanks a lot.
We
Nope.
appreciate it.
I'd say that in Greek, and I pat him on the shoulder, or as close to the shoulder as I can reach. Yeah, exactly.
That's no problem. I've been living in Nebraska for a while now. I don't want to see this place wiped out. He kind of crouches through the door. You hear that big truck crank up a little bit later. And then the bikers and the centaurs wind up drifting off, talking to each other.
Dad, can I borrow you?
Is this about what you were looking at me funny?
Yeah. Over here.
Alright, just over to one side of the room.
Uh-huh. Not even my band. Not even with my band presence.
Although all of us on the other side of the room just watching. Like,
Penelope and Kim are like, what's going on?
just watch it. Just watch.
Yeah, this is gonna get good.
Like refills the cups.
Alright, Chad walks over to you. Alright, what's going on?
All right. I'm learning more and more as I do this. This is considered like a faux pas or some kind of disrespect, especially with your band. It's a little closer to the chest about it, but your deific parent.
What about him?
Does he go by multiple names?
Not
More
really.
than your average deific
Well,
parent.
all of them go by multiple names. You know, the whole Jupiter, Zeus, shoot,
Eros, Amor.
he's looking at you.
Can we see the wheels turning from across the room?
And then he just busts out laughing. Like, you know, like
That
belly laugh, propping himself on his knees.
Is that a yes?
No, my dad does not go by more.
Okay. That's good to know. Because, yeah, like you said, Jupiter, Zeus. I know
Yeah,
my
Etruscans
deific
had a
parent.
name for him too. Anyway.
My deific parent has multiple names, and one of them, in some places, is Eros.
Chad's like, yeah, Eros the Younger.
It's really weird when all of this turned out to be real. So you're like checking notes with people, and you're like, no, not in this timeline, different timeline.
Oh man, I know what you're thinking, and it ain't true. Don't worry about it. And he's chuckling as he walks off.
Anybody looking at Teleris sees like a weight off their shoulders.
You just say, oh. And y'all couldn't quite hear what Telarius was saying, but you heard Chad's laugh and him shaking his head and patting him on the shoulder and walking off, and you see Telarius like, oh.
Telarius just like the leftover meat, just like, whoa.
Penelope's like, well, that was interesting. Well, we probably need to go and pray.
Out of here.
Yep. If you need any help with anything that we can help with, let us know.
We'll be in touch. She holds up her phone and got everybody's numbers.
Yep.
So the Varangians vacate the premises, which just leaves your band, Anthony, and Carrie's in there somewhere.
Yep.
Antony's still in the room.
Yes. He's like
She
gathering
was
up the
at-
empty cups.
She was asking about the fetch, wasn't she?
Well, she is the fetch.
She's asking about waking her, wasn't she?
Doesn't matter.
You could be dead in 24 plus hours. It does matter.
Some things it's not
We're
worth
not
taking
waking
to your
her up,
grave.
so it doesn't matter. And he's now very angrily grabbing empty cups and put them on one of the big trays to carry them off.
Oh, it's your decision. I won't meddle.
And if we don't have a choice?
I don't think the choice is ours. I think it's hers.
I'm not saying. What I'm trying to say is it might come down to the point where we won't have a choice, but I mean, if we can do it without waking her up and activating whatever fate has decided it is for her, then wonderful. But we might not get that chance.
I've looked into breaking the fate between them, so, if there's any chance for them to live independently of one another. You can't break this kind of fate. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
By this point, Anthony's walked back into kind of the kitchen area with the glasses.
Service here is horrible.
And then you hear some like loud talking, like you can hear a couple arguing. You hear a bunch of the cups hit the ground. Starting to get one of those kind of awkward. Should we just leave?
No.
Do we want to walk back there and just tell them to kiss already?
It might be inappropriate.
We could be dead in 24 hours. Who cares about what's appropriate?
Is Sasha gonna march back there?
Sure, she's gonna just go back there around the corner. If you two are done fighting each other, why don't you just kiss already? You clearly care about each other.
Anthony is staring daggers at you. Carrie actually kind of snickers and reaches up into her shirt and pulls out a chain. And there's like a couple of gold rings and one of them has a diamond.
Can't break fate. Make the best of what you have. Walks off.
You see Anthony pulling his out of his pocket and putting it down. She gets better tips. They don't know she's married.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, Sasha walks back into the room. You don't hear any arguing, so maybe her plan.
Probably don't go back into that room.
Don't tempt me.
Then you're struck with a horrible realization. Wait a second. They fixed the food in that room. Ugh.
I trust them to sanitize that room afterwards. They seem reliable. They've tolerated our dumbassery this long.
Fair.
All right. One day.
One day.
Can we at least try not to die?
Well, that is the ultimate plan. I have no urge to speak to any of your ghosts.
I wouldn't say anything to you.
I'm a little
I
hurt.
would simply leave. I don't want to give you that grief.
It wouldn't be grief.
Annoyance.
Not annoyance. You're my friends. I'd be sad that you're dead, but I know that you'd go to your corresponding places.
Annoyance.
She'd make sure Hilarious and
Flick
Jayden
nose.
had coins on their eyes. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all fall back to Hilarious's, I assume.
Either Hilarious or do we split up to take care of what we want to
And
take care
Our
of?
individual needs.
Yeah.
Hilarious will at their apartment fill Sam in with the
Man, we should have brought Sam.
Yeah, in
should have.
hindsight, Sam should probably have gone, but oh well. He had his stories or whatever.
He was moderating something.
Oh no, he had his soaps.
He found out he's running an online like Deadpool, as to what's going to happen to the city and which of y'all will survive.
You know what? I wouldn't hate him for it.
Yeah.
As long as he lets us in on a cut. Buys dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
All right. So what all, relatively quickly, because we are running out of time.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that y'all wish to take care of prior to this?
Hilarious will call their mother. Just hi mom. Some
Oh, we're talking twice in a day. Wow.
yeah. It's wild. There's something big going on, and it's gonna be something, and I'm gonna get some really good footage. But I just wanted to call and say I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Is this like a big party?
The biggest. And when we're done with this dangerous thing we have to do, then yes, there will be a large party to
She's
celebrate.
like, your tone of voice was starting to scare me, but at least you're admitting to me it's something dangerous.
Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna lie and be like, no, we're gonna be perfectly fine. But it's the line of work I'm destined to have, I guess.
Are you like? Is it like something nasty?
Yeah. The last time I saw it, there was a weird tentacle that came out of ripped an engine block out of a ship.
Oh, the thing in the lake.
Yeah, that.
I forget exactly where does Hilarious's mother live.
Not too far from Hilarious, but like far enough to where it's not weird.
Not walking distance from his house.
Right.
Unless she was Sasha, who walks everywhere in this town.
Yeah. It's solid. It's a solid like 10-minute drive.
Okay.
There has to be like a deliberate drive if she wants to visit them. But he knows where they live. I'm bringing Samuel. I'm bringing my band. We're bringing the other band. There's also a bunch of other people that are going to join us. So, in a way, yes, it's going to be a big party. But also, in a way, it's dangerous.
The most dangerous party.
Yes.
Our band, their band, these randos that are clearly not wearing red shirts. Well, except maybe the Cyclops farmer. He was in flannel. So there was some red. But anyway. Alright, what about the rest of you? Connor had mentioned, or Eric, you had mentioned something about Connor contacting his grandfather?
Yes. He is going to do that. He's going to call his grandfather.
Hello?
Hey,
Let's see, this was afternoon, so he would be at the dojo.
Yeah.
Oh, Connor.
Hey.
What's up?
Well, there may or may not be a problem.
Okay. Is there or isn't there?
Okay, yes, there is. We're going to be dealing with a very angry lake monster in the near future.
I've been seeing reports of that on the news. Not that it was
Yeah.
angry, but you know.
Well, it's Scylla, so
Very angry.
Okay.
we've kind of gotten everybody together, and we're going to basically engage it and try to get it out of the city. So, in case everything goes pear-shaped,
Yeah, me too. He kind of pauses. I'm sure you'll be fine, boy.
I certainly hope so.
You're tough. It'd chew you like a piece of gristle and spit you back out. You'll be all right.
Okay. Well, that's basically it. And if you...
When's this going down?
Tomorrow.
How about if you got time? How about you come by and have dinner?
Yeah, sure. You can come by my place if you want. The dragon grew up. If you want to meet her, all adult and everything.
I'm trying to remember if he's met you.
I don't think he has.
Oh, we're getting raided by Ink and Liar.
Well, that just
Hello,
means
Ink
we
and
have to
Liar.
keep playing some more. Darn.
Oh no.
Well, you've come in right at the tail end, but thank y'all for coming by.
Yeah,
We
let's
certainly
We do
appreciate
appreciate it.
Yeah, we
I
did.
do.
Connor has told him about Shauna, but he's never met Shauna.
Okay. All right, then. Moving on. Jayden, is there anything you want to do?
Yeah, she would call her parents and let them know.
They're not happy to hear this. You know, they knew you were never going to live, you know, a life of comfort and safety, but.
Mm-hmm.
And are you sure fighting a giant monster is a good idea?
It's really not.
Really isn't.
It isn't.
It isn't, but it needs to get done.
They don't live in the city, correct?
No, they do not.
Okay.
They live like north out in the country. Like northwest out in the country.
Okay. Probably not as far out as All's Good, but something kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, they tell you to be as careful as you can, shoot from a distance.
Yeah, and I'll call you tomorrow after it's all said and done.
Yeah, please do. They don't want it to be like, the European thing where they were seeing stuff on the news about Belgium before you got home. All right, what is Sasha up to?
We'll first drop an offering in to a set, just like a, hey, I appreciate you and all that, but I don't want any of my friends to be visiting you soon. So, or any other pantheons, death gods soon. So, this is just a little something something. It probably won't do anything, but
She's gonna grease Death's palm, so maybe he looks the other way.
yeah. Can you just hold a meeting or something.
She's learned too much from Connor. And the
Honestly.
shin.
Can you hold a meeting or something during the day? Just drop something in there, just out of habit and just respect kind of thing. And then goes by her grandparents, is like, hey, do y'all want to go out to dinner?
Yeah, they'd love to.
And she will take them to like the favorite little place down the street, and if they ask why she's taking them out to dinner, she will tell them and explain it.
Which puts a cloud over the dinner.
Which puts a cloud over the dinner. She's like,
You know, your grandmother starts stabbing her salad rather aggressively. We could still head out to the cabin.
you can. I'm here. I have no plans on dying.
Well, neither did your parents, I'm sure.
Yes, but no one's going to blow up my car.
Mm,
I don't even have a car, actually.
uh,
I plan on having dinner with you guys tomorrow as well. We'll probably all end up at the Rubicon after this, so if you want to meet everyone else that was involved, possibly Talarius' mother, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure they'd love to meet you as well.
yeah, she'd like to see the people that raise some of these other people you're hanging out with.
All of the parents just exchanging stories.
The hell are your children up to? Gosh.
What have your children been dragging my children into?
Just becomes a brawl. That's all we need.
So Connor,
Yeah.
during dinner,
Yep.
you get a phone call from your police lieutenant buddy,
Uh-huh.
Blakely, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yep, Clint Blakely.
Mm-hmm.
Who, you know, he's still out with a busted leg.
Yeah.
But he calls you up, man. What is going on?
What do you mean? What's going on?
I've had a couple of the guys from the station call me up. There's like weird crap. There was gunfire reported. He rattles off one of the like northern neighborhoods above the Beltline, and there's like dead centaurs. Somebody at the waterfront. There was some kind of fight with some bikers. I mean, we're scrambling all over the place.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Son of a bitch. We try and do the good thing and prepare, and it bites us in the ass.
And there was like a fire at some bar.
Not the Rubicon!
Was it the Rubicon by chance?
Yeah. It was, you know, bar ain't been there that long. Yeah, I think that's currently this name, or it hasn't been under that name for very long. I mean, it's put out. The place isn't like trash, but.
Hey, Gramps, you mind if I call you back? Or mind if I get back to
Well,
you?
this is during dinner that you get this call.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's looking at his grandfather.
Who is looking
At
at you
dinner.
very concerned. Because he sees the expression on your face from this phone call.
Yeah, I'll get on that.
Somewhere Sasha senses a disturbance in the force.
Oh no, she absolutely does. I'll get back with you. There's a lot we're trying to deal with right now.
You're saying this to Blakely or to your grandfather?
To Blakely.
Okay. He goes, okay, man, I just want to let you know because, you know, I know, you know, horse people, that's kind of y'all's bailiwick.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've got video of the bikers I mentioned. One of them's like flipping a car over. Or the witnesses say he flipped a car over or fighting somebody.
I'll give you the short version. We found out what was in the lake. It's intent on probably destroying the town like last time, and those were people we brought in to help. But apparently, that thing's allies just offed them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't no good with a busted leg. Should I get my family out of town?
Yes.
All right, well, I was gonna let you know, man.
Because, well, in 24 hours, it'll be either us or them that's dead.
Oh, good luck, man.
That is the idea. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
So we're gonna wrap there with multiple fires going on in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Just suddenly a text on Connor's phone. What the fuck is going on?
No, we'll start up next session with the flashback to what Robert was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll jump to how Connor reacts to all this.
Yeah.
We try and plan, and you murder all of our NPCs.
I can start murdering PCs if you'd rather.
No, I mean, Sasha's art. I fully expect her to start getting stabbed in the back. The mage getting geeked.
The back, the front. She's just gonna get stabbed.
The side.
Full on Julius Caesar.
13 aspects of Gaia just stabbing her.
Anyway, it's gonna wrap us up for tonight. I hope everybody that came by enjoyed it. I hope my players had fun. I know I had fun. Again, thanks Ink and Liar for rating us. We appreciate that. Rexy Cuts for redeeming a stretch up earlier.
Yeah.
If you're in the mood for more gaming, Deca, what else we got on Diabear this week?
On Wednesday, the rest of these games except for ours are going to be D&D 5th edition. So if that's your bag, you're in the right place. On Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central, from 6 p.m. Central to 9 p.m. Is Fall Scholar Nights with DM JT at the helm. On Thursday, it will be A Knight's Ransom with Maddie at the helm. On Friday, we've got nothing. Saturday, unfortunately, Stolen Cities are taking the rest of October off to re-energize. Happens sometimes. But you can come back to us on Sunday for the last game of the weekend. It is Varenheim with DM Trail. Monday is the flagship show with the Troubleshooters, headed up by Heath. And then we'll be back here with our not D&D game.
The token,
Fighting
not D&D
my god.
game. So anyway, we hope everybody will come back then. And until then, I guess we'll see you later.